Neither side is backing down. Lisa Brady, Fox News.
We're hitting them harder than anybody's been hit since World War II.
President Trump telling the Fox Brian Kilmeade radio show Iran's missiles and drones are being decimated.
Secretary of War Hegseth says since the start of the war, the amount of missiles fired by Iran is down 90%. The amount of drones fired by Iran is down 95%. Also, Iran's leadership has been hit hard. The supreme leader killed on day one, and his successor, his son, has not been seen since.
Fox's Steve Harrigan near Armenia's border with Iran. The State Department just announcing a reward of up to $10 million for information on key leaders of Iran's Revolutionary Guard, including the country's new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei. A jury in Los Angeles now deliberating a landmark case accusing Meta and Google of designing Instagram and YouTube to be addictive and knowing that could harm kids' mental health. The companies deny it and argue in part that the plaintiff was not addicted. TikTok and Snap settled before the trial. President Trump suddenly part of the focus at a pretrial hearing for accused Charlie Kirk assassin Tyler Robinson, as the defense argues statements made by the president and others, including Kirk's widow Erica, have been prejudicial against their client.
Utah County Attorney's Office has argued the defense is trying to drag things out here. And moments ago, the prosecution argued against the idea that the media coverage will negatively affect Robinson.
Fox's Matt Finn at the courthouse in Provo, where a judge has allowed cameras with restrictions for hearings so far. The defense today also calling alleged confessions presidential. A former New York State trooper just convicted of manslaughter at his second trial for the death of an 11-year-old girl during a high-speed chase. Prosecutors say the trooper rammed an SUV. The defense argued the SUV cut off the trooper as he pulled alongside. America is listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
We've got an accident blocking your two right lanes on I-75 southbound at Mack Avenue. That's causing stop-and-go traffic from Warren Avenue. And another accident on the southbound Southfield Freeway after Oakwood Boulevard. That's blocking your right lane. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Rainy and windy today with highs in the lower 50s. Cloudy for tonight, a low of 27. A few flurries or snow showers possible. Partly cloudy for Saturday with a high of 40. Overcast Sunday with a high of 62. Rain for Sunday evening, a low of 44. Right now, windy with showers in the vicinity, 51 degrees. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
I'm Adam Devine, Chief Fundraiser for Children's Miracle Network. We'll fun it up. It better be fun. Have you ever wondered how our network actually works? Oh, wonder no more. With the support of partnering businesses and individual donors, we help raise crucial funds for 170 children's hospitals across the United States and Canada. Hospitals that provide life-changing care for all kids. Visit us online at cmn.org.
You saved for retirement your whole life, but what if the IRS takes a huge chunk of it? Most retirees don't realize how big their tax bill could be until it's too late. Get your numbers now with your free retirement tax bill report. Go to moneytalkstaxbill.com today. That's moneytalkstaxbill.com, because retirement should be about living, not taxes. And join us for Money Talks with Joseph Uplegger, Saturdays at 5 p.m. right here on WJR.
Your morning is busy, so we'll keep it brief. Upgrade your routine with WJR's 5 Things First Thing. JR Morning with Chris, Lloyd, and Jamie break down the top 5 stories in just 5 minutes. Delivered straight to your device. Start your day by hitting play. Subscribe today on the always free WJR app. The Detroit Free Press Marathon is back in the running for USA Today's Best Marathon. Help defend our title. Let's show them what this city can do. Vote once a day, every day until March 23rd at 10best.usatoday.com. Cast your vote, Detroit. Let's stay number one.
Our representative, Jack Bergman, is standing up for radio listeners like us by supporting legislation to keep AM radio in cars. He knows the value of local radio in times of emergency. Now it's time for Congress to finish the job and pass the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act. Learn more at dependonam.com. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Michigan's largest real estate and home improvement show is coming to Metro Detroit, March 28th and 29th at the Oakland Expo Center in Waterford. Meet builders, designers, realtors, lenders, and home improvement experts all in one place. Get real-world advice on buying, selling, renovating, staging, and creating standout home designs. Whether you're a homeowner, future buyer, or real estate professional, there's something for everyone, including family activities, prize drawings, and interactive exhibits. You could win tickets on us. Text keyword HOME to 800-859-0957. For full expo details, visit largestrealestateshow.com.
Say hello to another great voice. This is JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermanni on 760 WJR.
Hey, let's go on a Friday, March 13th, 2026. Ryan Ermanni, JR Afternoon. Hopefully everybody is heading into the weekend. I'll tell you, the wind gusts, I saw up to 71 miles an hour as I was driving home today, and I am working remotely. I will get to that in 1 second. The amount of trash on the freeways, I'm not sure if anybody experienced this or not, but on I-94 near the M10 I-75 interchange, it is like a wind tunnel there. The winds, I believe, got up to about 71 miles per hour. There's 28,000 residents in the area without power right now. And maybe that number will increase because of where we are with the wind, and it is only expected to get worse right now. But driving through that felt like I was driving through a landfill. Pretty wild stuff, pretty wild situation. Wind, you got to be careful out there on the roadways. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get into the show today, which we will focus heavily on the Temple Israel, the latest, the West Bloomfield synagogue attack. I just want to say, so many times at the end of the show, we run out of time. It's just the way it is. I feel the need to absolutely give my utmost gratitude to the team at WJR for the way in which we all worked together yesterday. It was exactly how it should have been. And I just wanted to give a couple of special shout outs if I could. I have, if you've been listening or if you're watching on YouTube right now, you know that I'm not in studio. I've had, my wife is out of town. I'm on childcare duty, a lot of different situations going on. So I've been fortunate enough to work from home, and I've got a good setup here. Ray Templin came over and set me up with all the equipment. I can't thank him enough. But in a breaking news situation like yesterday was, and not only that, with me working remotely, what Beth Ann Long, Danielle Mason, Marie Osborne, Dave Rieger, Chris Renwick, and Ray Templin did yesterday, and Ann Thomas as a leader, I'm not sure you'll find anybody better. It was incredible. Beth Ann, I cannot thank you and Danielle enough specifically for being in that control room yesterday. When you are hosting a show and breaking news is happening all around you, and you're not in studio to kind of coordinate or help coordinate, to be taken care of like that, the calm that you guys had to get the information, to book the guest, to get in my ear, that's textbook. And I just wanted to say that's as professional a breaking news situation as I've been in. Thank you both for that.
You're welcome.
Of course.
And we'll continue on today. And again, Marie Osborne, what a pro. Updates all throughout the 2-hour show and all throughout the day. I think she worked like a 14-hour day yesterday. Marie Osborne did. Chris Renwick went to the Temple Israel to get firsthand reporting. He went with engineer Ray Templin, who was dealing with me as well, phone calls and trying to make sure that the setup was good. Dave Rieger joined us, and all at the behest of Ann Thomas, who is back there, I know, coordinating with you guys. So again, I just wanted to get that out there because people hear the finished product, but they don't see the back work that's done. And again, that's as professional and an operation as you can get. Well done, everybody. Thank you all. I will say that. You're welcome. All right. But I do obviously want to get to and follow up with the story of the week around here and perhaps the year. And I just want to kind of take it back a step for a second. I want to go back chronologically through yesterday, and that includes what happened at Old Dominion. National security teams now all over the country on high alert. Two separate attacks happened within hours. And we'll start with the one in Virginia. A previously convicted suspect with ties to ISIS, accused of opening fire at Old Dominion, killing at least one person and injuring two others. That man who was killed was a retired military officer who survived multiple tours of duty and was teaching a class. The suspect ultimately was taken down by a group of ROTC students. Now, that suspect was identified as Mohammed Jallo, 36 years old. In 2016, he was arrested and pled guilty for attempting to provide material support to ISIS. He was sentenced in 2017, went to prison. He was released in 2024. The FBI is investigating that as an act of terrorism. Just a quick note about that. What is he doing out on the street? Is there anything law enforcement can do to prevent somebody like that who was just released from prison in 2024 to being out on the street? Out less than 2 years ago, and you saw what he did. Now, hours later, after the Old Dominion attack, an armed suspect, and this is what we are really focused on here today and locally, rammed his car through the doors of Temple Israel in West Bloomfield. Over 100 kids were there. 104 kids, ages 5 and under, were in that school at the time. The FBI is investigating this as a targeted attack of violence against the Jewish community. Now, the suspect in this case is identified as Ayman Mohammed Ghazali, 41 years old, born in Lebanon in 1985. He entered the U.S. in May of 2010 and became a naturalized citizen in 2016. The Dearborn Heights mayor, where the suspect lived, is having a press conference today at 4 o'clock, first and foremost, but he says that this man lost several family members earlier this month in an airstrike in Lebanon as part of the war in Iran. I'm going to get to that in a second because I'm not sure that matters at all. And even if that was the case, what did 104 kids ages 5 and under, what did they have to do with that attack? Can anybody answer that simple question for me? We'll get to that in a little bit. Politics aside, I don't know what this looks like to you, but this looks like a pattern to me. And when you look at lines at airports all across the country today, go look at Austin Airport right now, if you would. Go look at some of those videos. It is incredible to me that there is a partial government shutdown right now in a day and age where we have the Austin, Texas shooter happen. This is within the last 2 weeks. Austin, Texas shooter, the New York teen bombers, the Old Dominion shooter, and now a Michigan synagogue attack. At what point will we fund the Department of Homeland Security? And it's interesting because there was a press conference earlier this morning as well. Governor Gretchen Whitmer, Alyssa Slotkin was there, Senator Alyssa Slotkin. Governor Whitmer talked about how the community is on edge and anti-Semitism is on the rise. We cannot let this continue and it began before the war in Iran. She said this is not a political moment. This is not a political debate. And then Senator Alyssa Slotkin talked much the same. She said, if you don't call out anti-Semitism, it gives people the permission to act. That is what's been happening over the course of several years specifically. It has been almost comfortable for people to use anti-Semitic language, have demonstrations. Have you seen a college campus over the last couple of years? Jewish students could not get to class in fear that they would be physically hurt. And nobody did anything about it. And it did give people a license to act. And I think that's one of the things we're going to talk about today. Senator Alyssa Slotkin was also asked about the funding bill that I was just talking about. She voted no yesterday to fund the government. At a time when this country is on edge, when we've had all of these attacks, how do our Michigan senators vote no on a funding bill? I just simply cannot understand that. Let's take the politics out of it. Over 300 TSA agents have quit because they're not getting paid. Several reports of that. You see the lines at airports. What will it take for the government to reopen and fund the Department of Homeland Security? Just some of the things we'll be discussing today. Coming up next, we're going to talk to Michigan Senate Minority Leader Eric Nesbitt. He's also running for governor in the state of Michigan. Previously scheduled in this slot because he's got some really good ideas about mental health hospitals, and that's one of the things that I wanted to talk to him about. But we will obviously touch on the situation, the attack on a West Bloomfield synagogue. We'll do that next. 760 WJR.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you
Ryan?
get gas.
Yes.
That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside.
Do you have a
just by buying
copy
the
of the
gas
Paramount
you're already
Roofing?
buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every
forgot
time
to
I
print
fill
one
up.
out for you
I've
today.
already made around
It-
Oh, I got
$200.
it. Yeah, that's
You're
fine.
putting gas in your car
What time
anyway.
you want
Why
to
not get real cash
232.
back? If you like free money, download
And I
Upside.
didn't
I'm
do
saving
one
the cash
yesterday.
I earn
Do
from
you want me
using
to do one
Upside
at
to help pay for a
3:32 as
vacation
well?
later this year.
So
Download the free Upside
here's the
app
deal.
now to earn
If you
cash
try
back
and
every
make
time you buy
good
gas.
yourself,
Use promo
it will
code
not
SOUND
count.
to get an
Okay.
extra
Never
25
mind.
Well,
cents
there's
per
no
gallon on
point
your
to
first
do it.
tank. You
And
can
if you
cash
want to
out
like
anytime
shout
with
them
your
out,
bank,
it's fine,
PayPal,
but
or a gift card for
it has
Amazon.
to be
and
on the
Target.
law.
Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SOUND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SOUND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hi, it's Dave Lorenz. The key to a great getaway is to know a bit about the place and to leave plenty of opportunity for discovery. We'll show you the way on the Michigan Travel Show, Sundays at 4 on 760 WJR.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's new Girl Scout Thin Mints Frosty Fusion. Wendy's new Girl Scout Thin Mints Frosty Fusion is here. With a mint chocolate sauce, this treat was designed to be loved. Be sure to get the new Thin Mints Frosty Fusion soon, because just like Girl Scout cookie season, it won't be here forever. Plus, don't forget to order your fave cookies on girlscoutcookies.org. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's and Girl Scouts of the USA.
We have an accident blocking your two right lanes on I-75 southbound at Mack Avenue. That's causing stop and go from Warren Avenue. Another wreck on the southbound Southfield Freeway after Oakwood Boulevard. That's blocking your right lane. M50 closed in both directions between Lincoln Road and Wilson due to a fallen tree. And we still have some road work on the Jeffries in both directions between I-275 and Levan. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
High wind warnings up until 10 p.m. tonight. Winter weather alerts starting to pop to our west. We're going to get pounded by two strong storm systems. One over us today with rain showers and wind and 46, low tonight 27. The other one comes in Sunday night and Monday with high wind again and turning sharply colder early next week with the chance for some snows on Monday. Low Monday night down to 16. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore at the Weather Channel on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Monday morning on JR Morning, we'll give you all the news, traffic, and weather to get your week started off right. We'll also check in with MSU head basketball coach Tom Izzo after the Big Ten tournament and Monday Munchies at 8:49. All right here on WJR, WJR.com, and the always free WJR app.
760 WJR. We are continuing to talk about the temporal Israel attack. Again, a 4 p.m. Press conference today is going to happen with the mayor of Dearborn Heights. We'll get you that information as it becomes available to us. I do want to talk to Michigan Senate Minority Leader Eric Nesbitt, running for governor in the state of Michigan as a Republican as well. Senator, thanks so much for the time. We really appreciate it.
Well, thanks for having me on, and thank God for the brave security guards who stopped this terrorist attack in its tracks yesterday, and for their immediate response by the local police, the FBI, and President Trump. I think it's an example of federal, state, and local law enforcement working in tandem to keep our kids and our families safe.
I think that's a great point. And Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard highlighted that yesterday at a press conference, and I'm glad you did as well. It just goes to show you when everybody works together, what can be done, and that didn't start yesterday either, Senator Nesbitt. I mean, that's over a period of years in training sessions and taking ego out of everything and working together.
Well, yeah, I mean, Sheriff Bouchard is right, but also you look at last fall when the FBI came in and foiled an attempt of what looked like was going to be a mass homicide at a Ferndale nightclub by again some seem to be radicalized Islamic terrorists that was going to happen. Unfortunately, they got picked up and the FBI was able to intercede it. But let's be perfectly clear. This is the face of what radical Islamic terrorism looks like. We have a serious problem with extremism breeding right here in the United States. And you can't just sweep away some of these connections that continue to happen. I mean, there was just 2 examples in the United States yesterday, not just here in Michigan, but over on the East Coast. And I'll never apologize for demanding our communities be safe from terrorism and violence.
You talk about radical Islamic terrorism, and I'm curious your thoughts on why you think it is so hard for some people to use that phrase or say those words. It's almost like people want to downplay the hatred out there from so many. I mean, just look at the Austin shooter, the New York teen bombers, the Old Dominion shooter, the Michigan synagogue attack. Look, there's investigations that are going to happen, but nonetheless, there's a clear pattern here.
Well, there's people in this world that don't believe evil exists. And I'm somebody that does believe evil exists. I believe in right and wrong. I believe there's heaven and hell. And radical Islam is actually putting Americans in danger, and we have to face it head on. Yet while our country endures multiple terrorist attacks from these extremists, you look at what the Democrats in Washington, D.C. are withholding Department of Homeland Security funding. I mean, just yesterday, Alyssa Slotkin and Gary Peters voted against Department of Homeland Security funding to really pander to a radical base in the Democratic Party. They're actively fighting local and federal cooperation, like what we saw yesterday. Is the next governor of Michigan, I'm planning on banning sanctuary cities and making sure that local law enforcement is working with state law enforcement, is working with federal law enforcement. It's not just common sense. It's there to protect our families and protect our kids. And we need to deport these dangerous, radicalized individuals from our country. And when I'm governor, this will end on day one. I'm going to partner with President Trump. We're going to ban sanctuary cities, and we're going to work with ICE, and we're going to make sure that we're working with the Department of Homeland Security to keep our families and citizens safe in America.
Talking to Michigan Senate Minority Leader Eric Nesbitt, running for governor in the Republican nomination and running for governor here in the state of Michigan. I wanted to ask you, Senator, as well. I go back to the 4 attacks over the last couple of weeks. The Austin shooter was a naturalized citizen. The New York teen bombers, they were children of naturalized citizens from Afghanistan and Turkey. Old Dominion shooter was from Sierra Leone, naturalized citizen. The Michigan synagogue attack, naturalized citizen as well. We talk about illegal immigration and the all of the different problems with that. Do we have a legal immigration problem? Are we as a country vetting people properly when you look at these attacks?
It doesn't seem like we are. And I'm somebody that believes that if people want to work hard, get an education, start a business, and invest and grow here in this nation, that's the beauty of America. I was talking to a Middle Eastern business owner a few months ago, and mid-40s, came here when he was 12. His parents immigrated here, and he, his parents started a small business. He's growing that business into a very successful business. And he told me he couldn't have had that happen anywhere else in the world. And I pushed back on him a little bit. I'm like, well, there's other countries with private property rights, with free market economic systems, with the rule of law. And he goes, no, you go to Paris and there's 4 generations of Algerians and they're still Algerian. They're not French. Or you go to Berlin and there's 4 generations of Turks, and they're still Turkish. They're not German. And he looks at me, he goes, I'm an American. My kids are an American. And you and I may have a different religion, but I'm a capitalist. And I asked him, why is that? And I think this is an important thing to remember as we celebrate 250 years as a country. He goes, it's because of these radicals in the 1700s that believed in the individual instead of the state, that believed in families instead of government, that believed our rights came from a creator or a higher being instead of from a king. And as we go into celebrate 250 years as a country, I think it's important to understand that assimilation needs to be part of immigration, that you have to have a fact that they speak English, that we have one constitution, one rule of law. We don't have Sharia law that's popping up around this country, that we actually have a state constitution, a federal constitution, that we're protecting the individual rights. And that is what's valuable as an American. And that's what we have to be defending. And that's what we have to be making sure that immigrants are assimilated and that they understand why America is the last best hope of mankind on earth.
You know, Senator, I think about the attack at Old Dominion yesterday as well. The suspect identified as Mohammed Jallo, 36 years old, in 2016 arrested and pled guilty for attempting to provide material support to ISIS. He was sentenced to prison in 2017, got out of prison in 2024, and then does this. Is there anything legally you believe we can do as a country to ensure that somebody like that isn't walking the streets, being our neighbors, and then killing people?
Yeah, if they hate America, they need to go back to a country, their home country, period, paragraph. And this is something where, as we go into the challenges that we're facing as a nation, that we have to work with President Trump, with ICE, to deport every criminal illegal alien here in the nation. But you're right that there has to be better vetting to make sure that we have this assimilation to saying that we have one country, one nation, one set of laws, speak English, and that it's a love of America. And if you hate this country, we have to make sure that you're out of here.
You know, Senator, I originally reached out because I think you've got some really good ideas on mental health hospitals in this state, and I'm running out of time. I'd love to have you back next week. Perhaps we can talk more about that issue you raised earlier this week.
Yeah, I mean, this is about keeping our community safe, keeping our families safe. And my commitment to you is that I'm going to continue to work to be a pro-Second Amendment, pro-law enforcement governor, and we're going to continue to work to defend the law, rule of law and order in America.
Really appreciate your time. Michigan State Senate Minority Leader Eric Nesbitt. Thank you so much, Senator Nesbitt. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on.
You got it. Coming up next, we will continue the conversation. We're going to be joined by the do we have Lena Epstein next, or do we have Elad Strohmeyer next? We will be joined by both of them
Lena
at some point. We'll do that next. 760 WJR.
Ad paid for by Anthem Tax Services. Attention. If you or your business is behind in filing your tax returns, or if you owe over $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS, please listen carefully. The IRS
Lena
does not
Epstein.
joke around.
Oh,
and will not
okay.
stop their
It's
The
collection.
council's,
If you're tired of the
I sent you a
IRS
text and then I put it
letters,
in
levies,
the
or wage
chat as
garnishments,
well.
I
and would
thought
like to get
that.
fresh
Oh,
stock,
geez.
we can help.
I'm
Due to
looking
the
right at
financial
text.
hardships in the
Sorry.
country, the IRS
No, you're all
is
good.
making
His
it
team
easier
like
than
just
ever to
texted me
settle
and they
tax
said his
problems
meeting's
for
running
those who
long.
owe
Okay,
more than
got it.
$10,000.
My
We
bad.
can help settle your delinquent tax problems, end all collections, and may even reduce your back taxes significantly. Even if you can't afford to pay your back taxes, you can still get the help you need. We've helped thousands of taxpayers just like you, but you must call 800-245-7095 today to stop your tax problem from getting worse. The information is free and the help is real. Call 800-245-7095. That's 800-245-7095. Again, 800-245-7095.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids. Rolaids' dual-active formula has calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. Yeah, you heard right. 2 actives for that powerful relief. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion. That's billion with a B. Yeah, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words micro. That's pound 250, micro.
Fox News, I'm Carmen Roberts. Central Command confirms all 6 crew members aboard an Air Force refueling plane died when it crashed in Iraq. Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Kane, says the crash was not from hostile or friendly fire.
The incident occurred over friendly territory in western Iraq while the crew was on a combat mission.
The deaths bring the total number of U.S. troops lost in the Iran conflict to 13.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. In Michigan, praise for the security at a synagogue near Detroit where they fatally shot a man who drove his car inside where kids were in school.
If they had not all done their jobs almost perfectly, we would be talking about an immense tragedy here.
Democratic Senator Elise Slotkin and federal officials identified the attacker as a naturalized U.S. citizen from Lebanon. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Sponsored by Reamer Floors 3-day sale. It's
Out
here
of Richard.
today through Saturday only. Save up to 40% on new flooring for your home. Carpet, hardwood, luxury vinyl, and waterproof floors, all at unbelievable sale pricing. If flooring is on your spring to-do list, don't wait. This weekend only at Reamer Floors in Bloomfield Hills, Northville, or online at reamerfloors.com. Construction blocks your 2 right lanes on M14 westbound between I-275 and Sheldon Road. M50 closed in both directions between Lincoln Road and Wilson due to a fallen tree. We've got some road work on the Jeffries in both directions between I-275 and Levan. Keep in mind the I-275 southbound off-ramp to westbound M14 is closed until early November. And we still have that broken water main on 14 Mile Road between Drake Road and Farmington Road. Please avoid until further notice. That strip of roadway is closed for the time being. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Rainy and windy today with highs in the lower 50s. Cloudy for tonight, a low of 27. Few flurries or snow showers possible. Partly cloudy for Saturday with a high of 40. Overcast Sunday with a high of 62. Rain for Sunday evening, a low of 44. Right now, a break in the rain. Still cloudy and overcast, 51 degrees. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
You're up.
Hey, gang, it's Ryan Ermanni here. I want to tell you about my friends at Paramount Roofing. You know, living in Michigan, March is when we really start to see what winter has done to our homes. All the snow, all the ice, and all the wind like we're getting today, it all takes a toll on your roof. When I met with the owner, Eric Reno, and his team, they showed me how they make the whole process incredibly easy. All you need to do is visit weareroofing.com and get an instant free roof quote. No waiting, no pressure, just real information. What I love is their approach. Everything is built to last and backed for life, and they truly deliver a 5-star roofing experience, made easy from start to finish. If you're worried about time and budget, don't. Paramount Roofing offers no money down, plus 5 years, 0% interest, which makes protecting your home or your business a whole lot more manageable. And they do handle your home or your business, residential, commercial, whether it's the property you manage. They've got you covered. Spring is coming, ladies and gentlemen, and now is the time to check on that roof before the heavy rains arrive. Get your instant free quote today at weareroofing.com. That's weareroofing.com, Paramount Roofing.
March is your lucky month at the Nerve and Disc Institute in Farmington, Clinton Township, Grand Blanc, and Bad Axe. Hi, it's Paul W. Smith. Thousands of people, like my wife Kim and I, feel extremely lucky that our chronic back, neck, and knee pain are gone, thanks to our lucky charm, Dr. Saul Kogan. His non-surgical, non-invasive intradisc neutrosis and knee restore RX treatments stimulate the body's self-repair healing process. If you have spinal stenosis, herniated, bulging, or degenerative discs, sciatica pain or numbness, tingling or burning in your hands, arms, or legs, you're in luck. When you mention WJR in March, You'll get a consultation, examination, x-ray, or MRI review, and a laser treatment for just $49 for your first visit at the Nerve and Disc Institute. Your luck is about to change for the better. Call 586-416-DISC. That's 586-416-3472. Call now.
Listen in for the Cranes Detroit interview with Mike Lee every Monday morning on JR Morning. Brought to you in partnership with Mercantile Bank. Looking for a new business bank? Mercantile can help drive your business forward. Learn more at mercbank.com.
Michigan's largest real estate and home improvement show is coming to Metro Detroit, March 28th and 29th at the Oakland Expo Center in Waterford. This isn't just a home show, it's a full real estate experience. Meet builders, designers, realtors, lenders, and home improvement experts all in one place. Get real-world advice on buying, selling, renovating, staging, and creating standout home designs. Whether you're a homeowner, future buyer, or real estate professional, there's something for everyone, including family activities, prize drawings, and interactive exhibits. Get advanced discount tickets at largestrealestateshow.com. That's largestrealestateshow.com.
Never miss
The Daily Dose.
The Daily Dose.
The Daily Dose
The Daily Dose
of Deets.
the Daily Dose of Deets. The top of mind topics and stories,
Because America keeps building, innovating, and growing.
but at a depth and breadth that only Kevin Dietz can conceive.
Love doesn't have to be built on these grand gestures.
It's Can't Miss Radio.
You can't fake that kind of leadership Verlander is going to be able to bring to Scooball.
Kevin's own unique take on news and entertainment that'll get you talking all day
Social media should not get a pass just because it's digital.
and into tomorrow. The Daily Dose of Dietz. First thing out of the gate on All Talk with Kevin Dietz. Weekdays at 9 on WJR. Wake up tomorrow with JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR. Right now, it's JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermanni.
Continuing the conversation now with everything happening in the world, and there is a lot happening in the world. Let me bring in Lena Epstein, the co-owner of Vesco Oil Corporation. Of course, we're certainly going to talk about how the war in Iran is impacting oil prices and oil in Michigan. But first, Ms. Epstein, thanks so much for the time. I wanted to get your take on everything that happened over the last 24 to 27 hours in West Bloomfield. This attack and everything that leads up to it, including anti-Semitism, and how people feel so comfortable with it. It just does give a license, I believe, to act on it. And it's a terrible thing. What are your thoughts?
Thank you so much for coming on, and thank you to Chairman Vance Patrick for the opportunity to join you today. First and foremost, we are grateful as a community. This could have been a tragedy beyond imagination. There were about 140 kids inside of the Early Childhood Center. And because of the security, the training, the law enforcement, every single child is safe today. And whether it's a synagogue in our community, a church, or a mosque, these are sacred spaces, and people need to be safe in our community, being who they are, practicing the faith that they prescribe to. It's truly a horrific event that happened, and we are profoundly grateful that everybody made it out alive.
No doubt about it. And again, hope is not a strategy. It is the training from law enforcement, from those the security personnel at Temple Israel that allowed everybody to go home last night. And like you said, those over 100 children in that school at the time, incredible that they went home. Ms. Epstein, I want to ask you about oil and the price of gas here, and the price of oil. Last check I saw earlier today, back over $100 a barrel. Where are we right now in this very, very volatile oil market that we're in?
The oil market has been volatile for quite some time, and it's one of those industries that the world loves to panic over. And I would just say everyone stay calm and stay steady. These are natural market forces. They're not driven by any one person or any one company. And the more that we can flow and respond to these fluctuating prices, the better off we'll be. Obviously, with global instability, we're going to continue to see both the rising cost of oil and also just those rapid fluctuations. And I would say events like yesterday at Temple Israel that made national and international news is another very blatant reminder of the role that terrorism does play in the global economy. And in the end, when looking at a tragedy like yesterday, we must say, as a community, we reject all efforts to stop us from observing our religion and being free in this community. I know we're talking about oil at the same time we're talking about a shooting yesterday, which is very unusual. But these issues, in some very unusual way, they are tied together. Rising oil prices is out of our control. Political unrest can be out of our control, but we must speak up and do what we can to protect one another in this very critical time of need in our community.
There's no doubt about it. When you look at a range of things to discuss on any given day, whether it's oil or a shooting at a synagogue, you take a step back and you do get a sense that these things are all connected in some way, to the point where the war affects what we're paying in our cars for gas here at home. I mean, in the last 2 times I've gotten gas, I paid $3.69 and $3.29, and now it's back up to $3.69. And your head is on a little bit of a ping pong ball, and depending upon what kind of news we get with the war in Iran, whether that Strait of Hormuz is open or not, it seems like the price of oil fluctuates with that. What do you make of what we're doing now in the Strait, this very global market where 20% of the world's oil passes through?
I think we're doing a wonderful job. I think that, in my opinion, we have the best state in the world. We have tremendous natural resources here. We have vibrant communities. And I think we're just the greatest state in the nation. And, it's important at times like this for community leaders to come together, for us to do everything that we can to keep people safe. We must name hatred and violence when we see it. We must denounce it. We don't accept it as a community. We're fighting back. And we will do whatever is necessary to protect our young people at this time. I think it was a call to arms for all of us, and a reminder that every day is truly a gift. And there's so much worth fighting for, one day at a time.
Let me ask you about that. Why does it seem so hard to just call something out? I mean, it feels like we want to massage our words to make people feel better. I don't, instead of calling out exactly what something is. Why do we do
You're
that?
absolutely right. Well, I think it's a societal groupthink. I think it's a fear of retaliation, retribution. I can tell you on college campuses across the state, young kids, 18 to 22, do not feel safe speaking up in class for fear of retaliation, retribution, a failed grade. We have a major issue with people being afraid to speak up. I have an 8-year-old daughter. I'm teaching her to speak up. I'm teaching my daughter to name and speak the truth with what she sees. And I would encourage all of us on the line today to do so with our families. We need to speak up. We need to name the injustice. When we see something that's not right, we need to speak up and speak out. These are very unusual times, and it really calls for an extra special focus on looking out for one another, being kind, being helpful. And when we see injustice, wrongdoing, intolerance, violence, we must be the first to act. I definitely saw yesterday the forces of good in this community prevail over the forces of evil. I can tell you personally, I have heard from elected officials all over the world since yesterday, wanting to know how we are doing. The community in Michigan has never been stronger. And unfortunately, or fortunately, because of the events of yesterday, we are even stronger now. We will not be afraid. We will not stand down. And I want to give a message to the Jews, the Christians, the Hindus, the Muslims, the Buddhists that on the line, that this state must protect all religions. This is a place for all people. We are protected by the Constitution. We are protected as Americans to speak out in a safe and productive way. And I encourage everyone that's listening to today to be willing to speak out. We need to do that now more than ever.
Couldn't say it any better myself. Lena Epstein, co-owner of Vesco Oil Corporation. Thanks so much. Love to do it again soon, Lena. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You got it. All right, we're going to take a break. Come right back. 760 WJR.
Get answers to your retirement planning questions by joining the president of the Brzezinski Group, Brett Brzezinski, for Inside Retirement Tuesday nights at 7. Firm offers insurance services, investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Have an authentic Irish experience this St. Patrick's Day with Wigley's famous Eastern Market corned beef. Located in the heart of Eastern Market, Wigley's corned beef has been a Detroit tradition since 1924. Call 888-WIGGLEYS today or visit Wigleys.com.
Hey, Adam Devine here. Looking for a way to make a big change for all kids in your community? Just look for the balloon. When you see the Children's Miracle Network balloon at your local store, restaurant, or gas station, your donation provides crucial funds for local children's hospitals. Hospitals that provide life-changing care for all kids. Children's Miracle Network. Hospitals, partners, programs, and donors like you. Learn more at cmn.org.
Michigan's winter forecast is snow, snow, and more snow. And for a little variety, ice. Since that means slippery roads, stay safe by following these driving tips. Don't use cruise control on ice and snow. Use turn signals sooner to give others more time to react. Keep your car's fluids, tires, and wipers well maintained. And most important of all, drive slow on ice and snow. Sponsored by the Michigan Office of Highway Safety Planning and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
America, look around. Everywhere you go, prices are still high, rates have been whipsawing markets, and the debt and spending don't exactly scream stability. Experts say diversifying with intention is the #1 secret account that all American smart money uses to hedge against instability. Monetary Gold has been around since 2000, witnessing multiple economic setbacks. If you call now, Monetary Gold will cover up to a lifetime of your IRA fees on qualified accounts. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. That's 877-NOW-GOLD. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
No matter the time of the year, it's good for the mind, body, and soul to get out there. Luckily, we're in Michigan, one of the most beautiful places in the country. I'm Dave Lorenz. Join us Sunday at 4 for the Michigan Travel Show here on 760 WJR.
At Average Amy's Coffee Corner, our coffee has caffeine, our muffins are cooked, and our services, well, we're here. Come on by for an average cup of joe.
Average doesn't build great businesses. Cumulus Digital does, outperforming industry benchmarks by more than 25%. We deliver smarter digital marketing to over 4,000 local businesses every month and drive real, measurable growth. You're not average. Your marketing results shouldn't be either. Visit cumulusdigital.com to start outperforming today.
Are you tired of exposing your retirement savings to stock market risk? There are strategies you can use to keep your money safe no matter what happens in the stock market. Join us for Money Talks with Joseph Uplager, Saturdays at 5 p.m. right here on WJR 760.
Ready to buy, sell, renovate, or reimagine your home? Don't miss Michigan's largest real estate and home improvement show, March 28th and 29th at the Oakland Expo Center in Waterford. Explore exhibitors covering every stage of the home journey, from mortgages and real estate to remodeling, landscaping, and design inspiration. Bring the whole family for interactive exhibits and prize giveaways. Michigan's largest real estate and home improvement show, March 28th and 29th. Grab advanced discount tickets at largestrealestateshow.com. That's largestrealestateshow.com. This St. Patrick's Day weekend, keep our community safe from drunk driving. If you celebrate a little too much, don't rely on the luck of the Irish. Use a rideshare or designated driver from your friends at Michigan Auto Law, auto accident attorneys.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by WeatherBug.
Get the fastest local alerts and accurate 24/7 forecasts with WeatherBug. It's easy to use and provides real-time customizable alerts so the weather never takes you by surprise. Plan every day with confidence. Download the free WeatherBug app from the App Store now.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by Weather Seal Home Improvements. Over 60% of us will use our tax refund towards a home improvement project this year. Upgrade your roof with Weather Seal Home Improvements and add an extra $1,000 to your refund toward your new roof. That's a smart deal. Book your roof inspection today at weathersealhomeimprovements.net. That's weathersealhomeimprovements.net. We have an accident on the northbound Southfield Freeway off-ramp to 8 Mile. Construction slowing you down on M14 westbound between I-275 and Sheldon Road. And keep in mind, I-275 southbound, the off-ramp to westbound M14 is also closed. That's not going to reopen until early November. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Two storm systems making their presence definitely felt here across the lakes. One comes in
How do you
today with a
pronounce
high
his
wind
name?
warning until tonight.
Shostak?
High 46, low 27. Rain showers around. Partly cloudy tomorrow, 40
Yes.
degrees. We're up to 62 on Sunday. And then the second one comes in Sunday night and Monday with rain and wind and sharply colder. Could see some snows Monday. Our lows Monday night down in the teens. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore at the Weather Channel on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-0WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
You're up.
760 WJR on a Friday, March 13th. Hopefully everybody out there is heading into the weekend. And, I think when things happen like yesterday, I think it is a time to reflect and really take a look inward and appreciate time, because you just have no idea in life when you're going to be faced with a life-altering situation like what we saw potentially yesterday in West Bloomfield. And to help us kind of walk through this, Michael Shostak, Bloomfield Township Treasurer and on the board of the Jewish Community Security. Mr. Shostak, thanks so much for the time. Just first and foremost, 24, 27 hours after yesterday's attack, just what are some of the emotions that you feel in your community?
Hi, Ryan. Good to be with you. I think the most important thing that I feel is gratitude and, just respect for the professionals that we have in our community. The Jewish community, especially here in Detroit, has taken big steps to fortify and protect our buildings, our schools, our camps, and it's an important, part of how we've learned to live in the world today. And so we were prepared. We knew an attack like this was going to come. We didn't know when, we didn't know where, but we knew it was going to come. And so we take precautions. We have armed and trained professionals at all of our facilities. We do tabletop exercises. We do full-scale exercises. We do trainings with teachers and synagogue staff. So this is, the staff there at Temple Israel knew exactly what to do. They were well trained, both the security staff and the staff, synagogue and the teachers. And that's what we train for. And it's unfortunate that we live in a world like that. But, we as a community have come together and faced it head on.
Michael, just to hear you say we knew it was going to come, it just, phrases like that, it's just so hard to understand how there could be so much hate that all you want to do is go practice your faith and go worship, and to be able to not be able to do that without spending. And I heard the statistic today, over $1 billion in this country is spent on private security for synagogues. That is incredible, that amount of money has to be spent on private security just so people of Jewish faith can go worship safely.
Yeah, Ryan, that number is accurate. And it's not just synagogues. It's, of course, schools and community centers, summer camps, all of the different types of facilities that we have in our community. And it's spent on personnel. It's spent on training. It's spent on hardening the facilities, putting up bollards and other types of physical protections on our buildings. And so, yeah, it's unfortunately very necessary, as we saw yesterday. And just in the last week, we've seen other attacks at synagogues. I think there were a couple in Toronto.
Yes.
And so it's the times we live in, unfortunately.
When you talk about security for the Jewish community, and again, you mentioned community centers, synagogues, schools, what have you, um, that is an important part of what you do. Can you walk us through some of the security measures that you talk about, that you train for, and that ultimately was perfectly executed yesterday, perfectly by the security at Temple Israel?
Well, I can't really go into detail on the things that we do in terms of hardening targets
Sure.
or
Absolutely.
specific training or protocols, things like that. Obviously, we need to, keep that protected. But I can tell you, I've participated in tabletop exercises where we bring together not just Jewish security and members of the Jewish community leadership, but also we bring together federal agencies, state agencies, local resources, and come together and literally on a tabletop practice what would happen if this type of incident happened or if that type of incident happened, and who would we call, what would we need, what resources would we need, who would need to call to get those resources, and practically walk through these types of scenarios. And it's an important part of the training that our community does, and it's played out really, and yesterday we saw it. I mean, there was not just the West Bloomfield police that responded, but, my police department in Bloomfield Township, and my fire department in Bloomfield Township responded. There were, probably a dozen other agencies from around the area that responded, both police and fire, the county sheriff, and his well-trained staff, of course, ATF, FBI. So, I mean, within an hour, everybody knew everybody and knew what everybody's role would be and how it would work. And again, it's unfortunate that we have to live like that, but it's a reality that we have faced head on, and we're not going to be deterred by these threats.
No doubt about it. Michael Shostak, Bloomfield Township treasurer. Thanks so much for talking about this. Again, it's sick that we have to live in this in a world like this, but thankfully we have heroes like the ones who were securing the facility yesterday at Temple Israel to prevent mass casualties. Thank you so much, Michael. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ryan.
Hour number 2 is next. Headlines from Fox News 760 WJR.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well,
okay,
trying to find a
everyone.
needle in a
I'm
haystack.
gonna jump
Sure,
out.
you can post your job to some job board,
Jump
but
back
then all
in.
you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which
Say
is
what?
why you should try ZipRecruiter for
I'm
free.
gonna jump out and then jump back in.
ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Good. I'm going to go to the
ZipRecruiter
bathroom.
doesn't depend on candidates
Okay.
finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates.
Free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Ad paid for by Anthem Tax Services. Attention! If you or your business is behind in filing your tax returns, or if you owe over $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS, please listen carefully. The IRS does not joke around and will not stop their collection efforts. If you're tired of the IRS letters, levies, liens, or wage garnishments and would like to get a fresh start, we can help. Due to the financial hardships in the country, the IRS is making it easier than ever to settle tax problems for those who owe more than $10,000. We can help settle your delinquent tax problems, end all collections, and may even reduce your back taxes significantly. Even if you can't afford to pay your back taxes, you can still get the help you need. We've helped thousands of taxpayers just like you, but you must call 800-245-7095 today to stop your tax problem from getting worse. The information is free and the help is real. Call 800-245-7095. That's 800-245-7095. Again, 800-245-7095.
WJR, Detroit.
More U.S. forces heading to the Middle East. On Lisa Brady, Fox News. The Pentagon approving about 5,000 Marines and sailors to be sent to the region. A U.S. defense official confirming to Fox News they're part of the USS Tripoli, a Marine amphibious ready group stationed in Japan. The Pentagon confirming earlier today all 6 crew members were killed during a mid-air mishap involving 2 refueling planes over Iraq last night.
The incident occurred over friendly territory in western Iraq while the crew was on a combat mission. And again, was not the result, as CENTCOM has said, was not the result of hostile or friendly fire.
Joint Chiefs Chairman General Dan Kane at a briefing alongside Secretary Pete Hegseth, who says the number of airstrikes in Iran will keep going up.
President Trump holds the cards. He'll determine the pace, the tempo, and the timing of this conflict.
This a day after a defiant written statement from Iran's new supreme leader. Vice President J.D. Vance in Rocky Mount, North Carolina.
I stand here proud to say that after the first year of President Donald Trump and congressional Republicans' leadership, we are rebuilding the American dream and we're taking back this country for the people of this state.
Arguing in part the tax cuts are helping to put more money in people's pockets, also showing support for Republican Senate and House candidates ahead of the midterms when Democrats say voters will reject Trump policies. The U.S. economy not doing as well at the end of last year as first thought, going at 0.7%. That's half the initial Commerce Department estimate for GDP. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer calls yesterday's car-ramming synagogue attack hate.
This is targeting babies who are Jewish. That's anti-Semitism at its absolute worst.
The suspect who was killed was a Lebanese national who had U.S. citizenship and reportedly lost family members recently in Lebanon in an Israeli airstrike, but a motive is still under investigation. America is listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
We've got some stop and go on the northbound Southfield Freeway between 7 Mile and 8 Mile. A slow go on I-75 northbound between the Davison and 8 Mile as well. I-94 eastbound between West Grand Boulevard and Mount Elliott Street looking a bit sluggish. We still have that construction slowing you down on the Jeffries westbound between Levan Road and I-275. And expect some stop and go on the northbound Southfield Freeway between 7 Mile and 8 Mile. Also on I-75 southbound between 14 Mile and I-696. It's going to be cloudy and windy for tonight. We're going to drop down to the 30s. Tomorrow's going to be cloudy and windy as well. Be a little bit higher in the upper 40s. And Sunday, we'll have a whole lot of rain, especially Sunday evening. And it's going to be 43 degrees. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Life is beautiful and fragile. We fall. We get tired. And sometimes we get sick. But with Corewell Health, we are also strong. We fight disease. We battle cancer. We come together. We come back. We push forward. When the body breaks, we break through. Corewell Health. We can.
Are you concerned about outliving your money? If so, tune in to Money Talks with Joseph Uplegger, Saturdays at 5 p.m. Joe will help make sure you get the retirement you deserve, Saturdays at 5 p.m. right here on WJR 760.
The Detroit Free Press Marathon is back in the running for USA Today's Best Marathon. Help defend our title. Let's show them what this city can do. Vote once a day, every day until March 23rd at 10best.usatoday.com. Cast your vote, Detroit. Let's stay number one.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
The news, it's a conversation. This is JR Afternoon on WJR. Here's Ryan Ermanni.
Hour number 2 of the program here on a Friday as we head into the weekend, a Friday the 13th, and just a quick sports update for you. No scariness for the Michigan Wolverines. They down Ohio State in the quarterfinal of the Big Ten tournament. 71-67 was the final. They played a noon tip-off game today in Chicago. That game just wrapped up, well, actually about an hour ago. So Michigan is moving on to the Big Ten semifinal matchup. They will await to see who they will play. Michigan State, by the way, the Spartans looking to match the Wolverines with a win. And wouldn't that be something if we can get a Michigan State Big Ten tournament final on a Sunday afternoon? That would be incredible. You can listen to the game tonight. Michigan State plays in their quarterfinal matchup tonight in Chicago. You can listen to it right here on 760 WJR. They will tip off at 9 p.m. against the UCLA Bruins. Michigan State, number 8 in the country, a favorite in that one. But again, Michigan wins as well. So we are one game closer from seeing Super Fight 3 between Michigan and Michigan State. That would be something. I wanted to just mention this as well. We talked about the Nancy Guthrie abduction for weeks. And ABC News is reporting today within the last hour that additional images have been recovered from cameras at Nancy Guthrie's home, and that could be a significant break in that case. Now, as part of this story as well, there was no recordings the night of the abduction, but there were several people in the back and side yards over an unspecified period of time prior to the abduction. So law enforcement taking that very seriously. They have not drawn any conclusions as to why, but did describe it as odd as to why the one night that cameras did not record anything just so happened to be the night of the abduction. We have not talked about that in quite some time, but the breaking news there within the last hour, new images of several people captured on the surveillance footage from her home, Nancy Guthrie's home. Now, locally here, we continue to talk about the attack at a West Bloomfield synagogue, the Temple Israel. And there was a press conference earlier this morning. Governor Gretchen Whitmer, Senator Alyssa Slotkin were there. There is a press conference at 4 p.m. as well today. It is from Mayor Baydoun of Dearborn Heights. He's going to address the community impact following the West Bloomfield synagogue attack. Mayor Mo Baydoun, Dearborn Heights is where the alleged attacker was in this case here. Man identified as Ayman Mohammed Ghazali, 41 years old, born in Lebanon, naturalized citizen in 2016. Dearborn Heights is where he lived. So the mayor there going to speak at 4 p.m. But just back to the governor's press conference earlier today and Senator Alyssa Slotkin, a couple of things about that really stuck out to me. And it's namely from Senator Alyssa Slotkin. She did give law enforcement their kudos, and no doubt, I think everybody has at this point. There might not be, forgive me, there's a lot of great sheriffs in the country, and certainly in the city, in the counties, in our Southeast Michigan region. I'm not sure there's a better one than Sheriff Mike Bouchard. What he and his team have done through a training process and through communication, through coordination, I single him out, but everybody should be applauded the way they handled it. And as we have heard throughout the day as well as yesterday, everybody knew everybody. that was there. Everybody that showed up, all of the first responders that showed up, whether they were from West Bloomfield Police, whether they were from Michigan State Police, the Oakland County Sheriff's Office, whether they were from the FBI, Detroit, or any of the other federal agencies, everybody knew everybody. Everybody knew what everybody else's role was. More importantly, they knew what their role was. And that's how it's done. Those heroes, the private security at the Temple Israel, I hope they never have to buy another meal in this state anywhere ever again. They are flat out heroes. They stopped what would have been a horrific event. 104 children, 5 and under, were in that building at the time the attacker drove through the front door. 104 children, 5 and under. And I know this has been part of the story today, that this attacker had family killed in airstrikes due to the war in Iran. Somebody help me understand how that makes it, I don't want to say okay. Is it an excuse for driving your vehicle with IEDs potentially and a gun through the front door of a synagogue with 105 kids in it, or 104 kids in it? I just don't know what that has to do with any of the story. Maybe it gives you motive, sure, but I hope nobody is making that an excuse. And we'll find out at 4:00 today what the significance is of that other than motive. But nonetheless, I don't remember when October 7th happened, a bunch of Jewish people driving their cars through anywhere against kids, violence against kids either. You know, these attacks are, there's just no word for it. As the parent of kids 10 and under, you know, I got a 9-year-old son and a 10-year-old girl. Anything that has to do with kids, it hits me different. It just hits me different. And I'm sure anybody out there can imagine what those parents were going through yesterday as well, in not knowing if their children were safe or not. And thankfully they were. And I've seen a couple of quotes from the parents as well, saying that their kids just thought it was a regular drill that they did. They some of them completely unaffected by it. And that is tremendous. That means that everything that was supposed to happen did happen. But, you know, Senator Alyssa Slotkin today said the Jewish community faces 10 times the amount of hate crimes that any other group in America. Did anybody know that? I did not realize that. I did not know that the Jewish community faced 10 times the amount of hate crimes that any other group in America. And I believe the Jewish population, by the way, makes up less than 2% of the population. Think about that for a second. How is that even remotely not addressed in the public sphere? Just a crazy world we live in, ladies and gentlemen. Crazy world. Coming up next, we are going to be joined by the Consul General of Israel to the Midwest, Elad Strohmeyer. We'll do that next. 760 WJR.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin. And that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
March is your lucky month at the Nerve and Disc Institute in Farmington, Clinton Township, Grand Blanc, and Bad Axe. Hi, it's Paul W. Smith. Thousands of people, like my wife Kim and I, feel extremely lucky that our chronic back, neck, and knee pain are gone, thanks to our lucky charm, Dr. Saul Kogan. His non-surgical, non-invasive intradisc neutrosis and knee restore RX treatments stimulate the body's self-repair healing process. If you have spinal stenosis, herniated, bulging, or degenerative discs, sciatica pain or numbness, tingling or burning in your hands, arms, or legs, you're in luck. When you mention WJR in March, you'll get a consultation, examination, x-ray, or MRI review, and a laser treatment for just $49 for your first visit at the Nerve and Disc Institute. Your luck is about to change for the better. Call 586-416-DISC. That's 586-416-3472. Call now.
Service didn't define their story, but it shaped their foundation. Hear inspirational stories about our veterans as they transition from military service to civilian life on The Veterans Blueprint. Sponsored by VetLife, Sundays at 6 a.m. on 760 WJR.
The Dan Bongino Show.
It's our movement, okay? It's ours. We built it.
Hard truths.
Remember, I just told you, flooding the zone with facts not related to evidence is not getting to truth, it's obscuring it. Don't accuse me of partisan bias here. This show tries to get to a truth lodestar by showing you things called evidence, not random facts unrelated to the point. Well, let's get to truth. Let's produce actual evidence. There's only one choice, man.
The Dan Bongino Show. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
See you there.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Positive Coaching Alliance.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by NECA IBEW Local 58. Count on the Powering Michigan team of IBEW 58 skilled electricians and NECA signatory contractors for your next commercial, industrial, public, or residential construction project. The best electricians, the best electrical contractors, period. Learn more at poweringmichigansfuture.com. We've got some slow traffic on the northbound Southfield Freeway between 7 and 8 Mile. Construction blocking your two right lanes on M14 westbound between I-275 and Sheldon Road. And expect some delays on I-94 eastbound between West Grand Boulevard and Mount Elliott Street. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
Two storm systems lined up to march across the lakes. One comes in today with some gusty wind, rain showers. We're under a high wind warning until tonight. Our high today, 46, low tonight, 27. Partly cloudy tomorrow. In the wake of that system, 40 degrees and 60s on Sunday. Second storm system will be strong also. It comes in Sunday night and Monday. That'll have rain and snows with it across the state. And we're talking much colder air by Monday night. Lows down in the teens. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore at the Weather Channel on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Monday morning on JR Morning, we'll give you all the news, traffic, and weather to get your week started off right. We'll also check in with MSU head basketball coach Tom Izzo after the Big Ten tournament and Monday Munchies at 8:49. All right here on WJR, WJR.com, and the always free WJR app. Yeah.
You know, I think what happened yesterday was the worst fear that came true for a lot of Jewish families, and not only here in Metro Detroit, but all across the country. I thought Michigan Democratic State Senator Noah Arbit put it really succinctly yesterday on CNN. I want to play this clip for you here. This is Michigan Democrat State Senator Noah Arbit on CNN last night.
I want your viewers to really understand that when we talk about anti-Semitism, it's live, it's real, it's not something that's from the 1930s. It is a real deadly threat against your Jewish neighbors all across the United States and in the country. This is now the fifth synagogue attack this week. two in Toronto, one in Baltimore, and one in Liège, Belgium, and now in West Bloomfield in my hometown. And I think it's really important to understand that the relationship between hate speech and hate violence is cause and effect. And so when people don't stand up and speak out, or even worse, justify anti-Jewish rhetoric or discourse, it becomes a permission structure for people to view all Jews and Jewish institutions as legitimate targets of violence.
I thought that was as well put as I've heard it. I mean, the relationship between hate speech and violence is cause and effect. For more on the situation yesterday and where we are right now in the Jewish community, let me bring in Elad Strohmeyer, the Consul General of Israel to the Midwest. Mr. Strohmeyer, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you for having me, Ryan.
First and foremost, I'm not sure you were able to hear that audio clip from our Michigan Democratic State Senator Noah Arbit, but I'm wondering your thoughts on that. The relationship between hate speech and violence and anti-Semitism, it's live and it's real. How do you react to that statement?
So I heard actually what he said, and he was spot on in the way he articulated the thing. I just want to add, because you said it's an interview from yesterday. Today there was another attack on a synagogue in Rotterdam, Netherlands. Luckily, no one was hurt, but there was an explosive device on a synagogue there. So they're just keep adding and adding and adding and adding, and that's exactly what he said. Hate speech leads to violence, and we need to acknowledge that. We need to fight it. Inciting words eventually lead people to take action, and that's something that is unacceptable. And I don't have anything to contradict. He's just right.
I wonder what I'm trying to understand over the last 24 hours specifically, and you look back and you hear things and you see things, and for instance, college campuses. I mean, there was a time here during the Israel and Gaza war where college campuses here had to be shut down because of the anti-Israel and the anti-Semitism that was happening on college campuses. I just can't imagine another group that would have to go through or endure hate speech like that or demonstrations like that. Incredibly comfortable to just have those demonstrations like that on college campuses.
I agree. That's the issue. There is a double standard today. I'm about freedom of speech, and people have a right to protest and demonstrate against my country as well, against our policies. But to use my country's policies to go against the Jewish community, to use what my country is doing, whether you agree with it or disagree with it, is a litmus test for Jews to say, oh, we will accept you, but what is your stand on Israel? That's anti-Semitism. That's a double standard, and that's anti-Semitism. And I want to add one more thing. When we're talking about criticizing my country, my government, that's freedom of speech. I'm all about criticism. God knows that us as Israelis, we criticize our own government very well as well. But there is a difference when you judge my country for a double standard and that you rule my country's right to exist, our right for self-determination. When you're saying that Israel doesn't have a right to exist or there shouldn't be an Israel, that's no longer legitimate criticism. That's anti-Semitism. And this is what we've seen on college campuses. This is what we're seeing today.
And a lot, it's not called out. I mean, we've got elected lawmakers in the United States that stand by and allow it to happen and contribute to it as well.
I agree with you, and it's horrible. I want to say, though, that I hope to be encouraged that in the wake of what happened yesterday in West Bloomfield at Temple Israel, I saw many responses of elected officials that condemned it and that said that it's unacceptable. And I hope that maybe in the wake of that, people will wake up and understand that words matter, and maybe they change their tone coming forward. That's what I want to hope. I also want to say I'm actually right now in Michigan, coming here to support the community, to be with the community, to show them that we care, that we stand with the community. Israel stands strongly with them because we are the homeland of all Jewish people, whether they live in Israel. They need to know, every Jewish person here in Michigan and around the world needs to know that if they're in jeopardy, the Jewish state will be here, standing for them, supporting them for whatever they need.
Talking to Elad Strohmeyer, the Consul General of Israel to the Midwest, and Mr. Strohmeyer, I wanted to ask you about just anti-Semitism. The Jewish community faces 10 times the amount of hate crimes than any other group, and that's a staggering number, especially considering I believe the Jewish population makes up just shy of 2% of the American people, shy of 2% of the total population, but 10 times the amount of hate crimes Jewish people experience.
That's really the problem. That shows you the magnitude of the problem. People are fixated. The haters are fixated with the Jewish people. Unfortunately, anti-Semitism is the oldest hatred in the book. It existed way before our time. And unfortunately, I predict that it will continue to exist. But right now, anti-Semitism is rising its ugly head. And if there was a time that people were ashamed to show that they're anti-Semites, today there is no shame anymore. And this is why we need to fight it, because that's why we see this increase, the 10 times more anti-Semitic incidents that you're talking about, because people are not ashamed anymore. And we also need to acknowledge that anti-Semitism is not something that you see in one political camp. You see it in the left wing, in the right wing, in the progressive, in the far right, in the Democratic Party, and the Republican Party. And we need to stop politicizing it. We need to fight it. And I say always, if you're a Republican, focus on anti-Semitism in your own camp. Don't use it as a political tool against Democrats. And if you're a Democrat, fight anti-Semitism in your camp and don't use it as a political tool against Republicans. We need to stop politicizing it and address it, because eventually that leads to violence. And yesterday we were lucky. We were lucky that nobody got hurt aside from one security that was injured while he saved this community. Brave guy, and thank God he's safe. But all the kids are safe. These could have ended differently yesterday if we had not had this security. And this is what these words lead to.
You know, you raise a point that I had not heard before, and I think it was brilliant. And I think it's maybe a step that people can do in your own life to make sure that we're all working together and doing this. And that is, don't use this as a political tool. Take care of your own home first. If you're a Republican, take care of the anti-Semitism on the Republican side first. If you're a Democrat, take care of the Democratic anti-Semitism first. And then maybe if you do that, we can all come together at some point and work together on it. But if you clean up your own home first, maybe that is one way we can move forward together and help, even if it's just a little bit, cut down on some of this terrible anti-Semitism and hate violence.
Exactly.
I cannot thank you enough for your time. Consul General of Israel to the Midwest. Do you have, I've got 30 seconds left. Do you have a final message you'd like to leave the listeners with?
I want to thank the Michigan community for supporting the Jewish community here. And this is why I came to visit and show my love and my support to the community. And I want to thank our law enforcement. They're in the front line. Our law enforcement are protecting our communities, including the Jewish community. So thank you.
Elad Strohmeyer, thank you so much. We are going to take a break, come right back. We are going to lighten the mood a little bit with a great story, and we'll do that next. 760 WJR.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Susan, I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
And does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code AUTO for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code AUTO for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code AUTO for 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up.
We're Michigan's only law firm 100% specialized in auto accidents. But what really sets us apart is how we treat people. Just ask Benjamin Caldwell.
In an otherwise painful situation, they and their team made getting me the highest accident settlement possible painless. Throughout the process, they kept me posted on the status of my case, as well as checking in regularly on my well-being.
If you've been hurt in an auto accident, go to autolaw.com. Michigan Auto Law. People over everything.
This is Keith Kingston, tax partner at Metro Detroit accounting firm Schindel Rock, with our weekly tax tip for business owners. It's not too late to reduce your 2025 taxes. Business owners can still set up a retirement plan for the prior year, and a deduction can be taken for 2025 as long as it's funded by the due date of the tax return. Talk to your CPA to see what options are available to you. Schindel Rock helps Metro Detroit businesses solve complex tax matters. Learn more at schindelrock.com.
University of Virginia and an attack on a Michigan synagogue now has the U.S. on high alert. The attacks follow an ISIS-inspired attack outside a Gracie Mansion in New York City. President Trump tells Fox News Radio's The Brian Kilmeade Show demented people have been coming into the country.
They're sick people, and a lot of them were let in here. They shouldn't have been let in. Others are just bad. They go bad. Something wrong. There's something wrong there.
The suspect in the Virginia shooting was convicted in 2017 of providing material support to ISIS. He was released from prison in 2024. The partial government shutdown is causing more issues at airports as TSA agents call out.
Today's an important milestone in this government shutdown because it's the first day that TSA agents receive a $0 paycheck since this partial government shutdown began.
That's Fox's Grady Trimble. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Think It Up. Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
WJR Traffic and Weather First is sponsored by Weather Seal Home Improvements. Over 60% of us will use our tax refund towards a home improvement project this year. Upgrade your roof with Weather Seal Home Improvements and add an extra $1,000 to your refund toward your new roof. That's a smart deal. Book your roof inspection today at WeatherSealHomeImprovements.net. That's WeatherSealHomeImprovements.net. It's a slow go on I-75 northbound between the Davison and 8 Mile. Also on I-94
do a promo for Monday
between West Grand Boulevard and Mount Elliott Street. We do have a wreck on the northbound Southfield Freeway off-ramp to 8 Mile and the I-275 southbound off-ramp to westbound M14 closed until early November. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Rainy and windy today with highs in the lower 50s. Cloudy for tonight. Will drop down to 27. A few flurries or snow showers possible. Partly cloudy for Saturday with a high of 40. Overcast Sunday with a high of 62. Rain for Sunday evening, a low of 44. Right now windy with showers in the vicinity, 51 degrees. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
I move mountains.
Also, remember, they can hear you.
Literally. That means I.
All right, here's the promo for Monday.
Wait. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, promo for Monday. Coming in 3, in 2. Coming up at 2 o'clock on JR Afternoon. We're going to lighten the mood. Do you have your brackets yet? Michigan and Michigan State headed to March Madness. We'll check in on their road ahead. Will it end in the Final Four? 760 WJR.
Got it.
Sweet. Thanks.
Same day coverage, no medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term.
Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
So much uncertainty out there, but it isn't your enemy if you have a good retirement plan. And that was the reassuring advice I got from Chris Alberta of Principium.
Retirement's a journey. And one of the things that Chris Alberta, my friend at Principium, has told me time and again, you're more likely to stumble coming down the mountain than you are going up. Is that true?
Yeah, because gravity matters.
right? You fall on the way down, you're going to tumble. You fall a little bit on the way up, you slip, and then you come back up. We see
But
the
why
market
is
do
that?
it every week.
What is it about the decumulation that's so risky?
It's just the expression, the nonlinear expression of how money gets pulled out. Every time you take out that 4 or 5% of what's in that portfolio, and you're comfortable doing that, and we as an industry are comfortable distributing that money, everything changes if you lose 30 or 40%. Think about it. If your $100,000 or your $1 million drops to 600, but your income needs haven't changed, that 5% is not going to cut it anymore. You have to take out 8, 9, 10% a year. That's not sustainable.
Call Chris Alberta today, 888-800-8949. That's 888-800-8949.
Wow, did you see this?
Barrett News Media. What is that?
Well, they're a national publishing and consulting firm. Media professionals all read their stuff. But look at who they have in the top 15 of the best radio shows in the entire country.
Oh, Focus with Paul W. Smith.
Yeah, JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds.
And, of course, the Mitch Albom Show.
I guess that's what they mean when they say the great voices of the Great Lakes.
I always thought I had a pretty great voice. I really do.
Don't sing, hon. Don't. It ain't that great.
Barrett News Media says they're the tops in the country. Catch all of the great weekday shows and see for yourself the great voices of the Great Lakes. 760 WJR.
Tell me something good.
Wake up tomorrow with JR Morning with Chris Renwick, Lloyd Jackson, and Jamie Edmonds on 760 WJR. Right now, it's JR Afternoon with Ryan Ermanni.
Oh, I love that song. I love that song because you know what the segment is going to be about. It is going to be about something good. And don't we need to hear some good news in times like this? Joining us now is a Detroit native, and something really special happened to him here today. Something happened to him special last year as well. But Detroit native Joe Hooks is with us. Professional golfer, Detroit native, played at the Rocket Classic last year, and today learned that he will be playing again in this year's Rocket Classic on 313 Day. He received the tournament exemption, the sponsors exemption. Joe, thanks so much for the time. How are you, my friend?
It's my pleasure, Ryan. I'm doing great, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastic, but certainly not as good as you. Take me back a couple hours ago. Just talk about the informal ceremony, but you were there today getting the sponsors exemption. I know you certainly do not take that for granted.
Man, not at all, bro. I receive it with so much just like honor and humility, and just it's such a blessing, man. And definitely a surprise too, because I hadn't, my expectation and my agenda and my plans were to, just continue to do what I do and just have a good spring on the course and in my tournaments and all that, and see what happens, maybe come May, early June, and kind of either look for, right for the exemption then, and then kind of just see what happened after. But, instead they wanted to, that kind of got, Rocket made a decision to get it to me a lot sooner and out of the blue. And I'm just so ready to represent myself and my community and my family, man. And just to see how special this year's tournament can be for me.
No doubt about it. And I feel a special connection to you, Joe, and you probably don't even remember, but I interviewed you at the course last year after the John Shippen win that you had that allowed you to make your debut in the PGA Tour. You were one of my first interviews. I was actually not even fully hired at WJR yet. I was filling in, and maybe it's you that gave me the good luck interview and ultimately put me in my role, man.
It's possible. I remember your name. I remember your name for sure, especially your last name. So I don't know.
So maybe I have you to thank is what I'm saying. Thank you, big guy.
Man. I don't know. I don't need credit, man. I don't need any credit, bro. Like I'm happy to and honored that you wanted to take the time with me today, bro.
Hey, how much different will this year be for you compared to last year? I mean, look, you win the Shippin', you make your debut on the PGA Tour on your home course where you've golfed a million times. I'm sure the emotions were running through your body like crazy, and there was a lot of exhaustion as well because right when you win the tournament, you've got to you don't even have time to celebrate. You've got to ramp up for the tournament itself, the Rocket Classic. How different will this year be in year 2 for you?
Absolutely, man. I think more so it's just a matter of the preparation, preparing myself for that week and knowing that this year I won't have to deal with the same amount of last minute craze that I had last year. You know, I played 2 practice holes last year between the Shipping and the Rocket. Like I got rained out the day I was gonna get a decent amount of holes in, and it just didn't feel enough like a regular tournament. And it never was going to be a regular tournament, obviously, but like, you know, as far as my things I go through, routines for a tournament week, I just didn't have any of that because of all of the obligations that, you know, I took very serious. And so, you know, fast forward to now, I think that the way in which I, you know, represented myself and my, you know, my family, and then, you know, the membership at the Detroit Golf Club and just the city in general, I think that I would say it paid off, man, and just by getting another opportunity now. And I couldn't thank Rocket and the team at Rocket enough, man. It's just I'm really over the moon, and like I'm still surprised. So.
Joe, for a kid that, you know, grew up in Southfield in Commerce, graduated from UD Jesuit high school, what is it like for you? What message would you give to kids out there that want to do? We don't see a lot of professional golfers on the PGA Tour from Michigan. I maybe it's weather related, whatever the case. I mean, but you are that. I mean, you made it. You are playing on the PGA Tour in tournaments at your home course. What is that like? Is it surreal? Is it what do you feel right now? And what message would you give to others that want to be like you?
Well, man, I will say, you know, a lot of things for me. I think that in professional golf in general, as the case with most professional sports, a lot of professional sports, like a lot of things have to align. A lot of that starts with opportunity and having a community around you that supports you. So I think that having the persistence for one, to know what you want to do and to just stay at it regardless of the obstacles. I think that with that persistence in anything, the opportunities in the community will continue to create itself, if that makes sense, right? Like,
absolutely.
You know, for me, man, a lot of stars align for there to be a John Shippen, and not even for however it came about, and you know, the push to kind of have more representation, which in this society we always need more representation from underrepresented communities in every sport, right? I mean, but like, this is just an incredible opportunity, and I couldn't be more grateful, and I hope the kids can look at me and see that if you just stay persistent, you know, your opportunities will likely come.
Amen to that. Joe, you know what this means now. We're going to have to see each other out there at the course.
Absolutely, man, for sure. Absolutely, Ryan.
You got it. Joe Hooks, professional golfer, Detroit native, going to be playing in this summer's Rocket Classic as a sponsor exemption. It will be his second year at the Rocket Classic. My guy, Joe Hooks, everybody. Thanks, Joe. We appreciate it, my friend. Talk to you soon.
I appreciate your time. Thanks. Have a good one.
You got it. All right, coming up next, we'll talk to Steve Courtney. Big Ten tournament underway. We'll check in with Courtney and Those are Red Wings as well. My. Ay, 760 WJR.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Susan, I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic is terrible.
It sure is. But on top of that, gas prices have been skyrocketing. I can't believe how expensive gas has gotten recently.
Prices at the pump are up, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
And does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code AUTO for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code AUTO for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code AUTO for 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill-up.
Get answers to your retirement planning questions by joining the president of the Brzezinski Group, Brett Brzezinski, for Inside Retirement Tuesday nights at 7. Firm offers insurance services, investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
The headlines are full of major legal cases, both locally and nationally. But do we ever really get the inside story? Join Todd Flood of Flood Law on Behind the Bench this Monday at 7 p.m. to get the inside story. Todd will speak with judges, attorneys, and other special guests to explain what the real legal issues are behind the biggest cases. Todd will also discuss the current legal landscape and what you need to do to navigate the system for your best outcome. Behind the Bench with Todd Flood this Monday at 7 p.m.
Eyelid!
The Detroit Free Press Marathon is back in the running for USA Today's Best Marathon. Help defend our title. Let's show them what this city can do. Vote once a day, every day until March 23rd at 10best.usatoday.com. Cast your vote, Detroit. Let's stay number one. There's trouble in River City, and you're invited as Meredith Wilson's The Music Man comes to the Fox Theater for 4 performances. Thursday, April 2nd through Saturday, April 4th, featuring classic 76 trombones. You Got Trouble, Till There Was You, Pick a Little, and Gary, Indiana. You could win tickets. Text keyword trouble to 800-859-0957. Sponsored by 313 Presents. Official rules at WJR.com. Tickets available for purchase at Ticketmaster. Detroit celebrates the power of women. From the Henry Ford Museum to the Regional Chamber, we're honoring our trailblazers. Join us for local summits, jazz tributes, and community workshops through the month of March. It's time to give, to gain, and lift every voice. Find a full list of International Women's Month events at visitdetroit.com. Let's move Detroit forward together.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Staples has hundreds of great ways to boost your brand, like spectacular signs, brilliant brochures, eye-popping posters, mouth-watering menus, and more. Shop now through April 18th and save up to $125 on all your custom prints. Staples, that was easy.
Luke, come here.
Slow traffic on I-75 northbound between the Davison and 8 Mile. Hines Drive still remains closed for flooding between West Outer Drive and Ann Arbor Trail. 14 Mile Road closed in both directions between Drake Road and Farmington Road due to a broken water main. Please avoid that until further notice. The northbound Southfield Freeway off-ramp to 8 Mile is reopened. Now we have a little bit of construction slowing you down on M14 westbound between I-275 and Sheldon Road. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Here's your forecast.
High wind warnings up until 10 p.m. tonight. Winter weather alerts starting to pop to our west. We're going to get pounded by 2 strong storm systems. One over us today with rain showers and wind and 46. Low tonight 27. The other one comes in Sunday night and Monday with high wind again and turning sharply colder early next week with the chance for some snows on Monday. Low Monday night down to 16. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore at the Weather Channel on 760 WJR, where Michigan comes to talk.
Call us or text us. The number's the same. 1-800-859-0957. 1-800-859-WJR. Powered by Michigan Auto Law. Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com. That's autolaw.com.
You're up. Courtney's there.
760 WJR on a Friday heading into the weekend. Steve Courtney, it's that time of year, my friend. How are you?
everything is well. And you're right, Ryan. I've been on the lazy boy pretty much all day. And you know what? I don't feel bad about it at all.
No. God bless you. God bless you, Steve-O.
I just don't. Aside from a little work here and there, it's Big Ten tournament time, quarterfinal activity, and you, sir, your Michigan basketball Wolverines had their hands full with a very confident Ohio State Buckeye team. The Bucks having won 4 straight going into this tilt, but Michigan hangs on, the top-seeded team, 71-67 the final. Ade Mara, the 7'3" center for your Wolverines. What a presence that dude was today. 17 points to go along with 7 rebounds. But the Buckeyes watching that tilt, Ryan, just couldn't navigate the paint with that dude in the middle.
He's a tough guy to guard. There's no doubt about it. But one thing for Michigan as well, it feels good. They need a game like this. One of those games that they're going to have to battle down the stretch. Final 5 minutes of the game, you're in a tough possession by possession battle. I think this helps them moving forward. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Meanwhile, at the half there in Chicago, the Fighting Illini up on Wisconsin, 40-30. Well, no, we've just begun second half activity. Wisconsin, they're on the board in the second half, 40-33. Again, the second half just under. And you know what's interesting, Ryan, about this tilt? Should Wisconsin advance to face Michigan, that would be a little revenge for your Wolverines. Wisconsin handing Michigan their only Big Ten loss.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens. I am dying for a Michigan State Big Ten final, even though I don't know how many people remember who wins the Big Ten tournament title unless you need it for an automatic bid. But nonetheless, I'm not sure what that does to get you battle tested for the NCAA tournament, or if maybe you lose out in the in the NCAA tournament because you put so much focus in a game on Sunday. What do you think about that?
Meanwhile,
would you rather lose early if you're Michigan?
Is going to be a dandy. I was just going to say the 6:30 tilt tonight going to be a dandy as well. You got Purdue and Nebraska. The winner of that will go on to face who? Well, that would be the winner of the nightcap. Tom Izzo and the Spartans and those UCLA Bruins. UCLA dispensing of the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers last night. You go back to what went down at the Breslin Center on February 17th. Tom Izzo and the Spartans taking care of UCLA 82-59 in that tilt. The Spartans launching a season-high 14 three-pointers. Hopefully, lightning strikes twice. But for your planning purposes, Michigan's tilt tomorrow set for 1 o'clock, and then hopefully it'll be the Spartans and whoever comes out of Purdue, Nebraska. That will be at 3:30. Meanwhile, the Pistons, they rolled last night. Duncan Robinson, 19 points, and the Pistons take care of the short-handed 76ers, 131-109. Javonte Green, 17 points. Jalen Duren, 14 points to go along with 10 boards. Tough night for Cade Cunningham. He only took 6 shots from the floor, matching the third lowest total of his career. He finished with 8 points, but had 13 assists and 5 boards in 28 minutes of play. The Pistons right back to action tonight. They will host the Memphis Grizzlies. They're not having a good year. 23-42, as a matter of fact, 7:30 the start time. Ryan, it is desperate. Desperate times for the Winged Wheelers. They fall in Tampa to the Lightning last night, 4-1. The Lightning win for just the third time in the last 9 since the Olympic break to move within 2 points of Buffalo for the Atlantic Division lead. JT Compher, in case you're wondering, lit the lamp for the Red Wings. John Gibson, 24 shots stopped. The Red Wings have just 1 win in the last 5 games. But if you're looking for the silver lining in the otherwise dark cloud, the Red Wings continue to hold that number one wild card spot in the Eastern Conference. So the news, though, as it applies to our centers, Dylan Larkin and Andrew Kopp, a little worse than perhaps originally anticipated. Ryan, both those guys, including the captain, out for the next 2 weeks.
Really, really tough. You've got, 16 games to go. It appears right now, unless Ottawa gets hot, that there are 3 teams battling for 2 spots, Detroit, Boston, and Columbus right now. And if you look at where the Red Wings are, and I think the plus minus tells a lot of the story when it comes to how good your team is. If you look at the top 10 teams in the Eastern Conference, the Red Wings are the only team among the top 10 in the Eastern Conference, not in the NHL, but in the conference. They're the only one that's got a negative plus minus. They're a -5 on the season. Everybody else is in plus territory. I think that tells you how good or not that good the Red Wings are. They have played together and they have won hockey games and they have earned the right to be in this spot. There's no doubt about it, but they can't just give games away and not show up. I don't care who's out of the lineup. You got to play better than that.
You've got teams like the Habs starting to pull away. They have 82 points right now to the Red Wings 79. Buffalo and Tampa, those 2 teams are going to go back and forth. And by the way, does not get any easier for the now extremely shorthanded Red Wings. They're going to be in Dallas tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. The Stars, by the way, perceived to be one of the true teams in Cup contention. They are second right now in the Western Conference, a mere 5 points behind the Colorado Avalanche. So, look, injuries are a part of the game. Todd McClellan has expressed as much. Nobody feels sorry for the Red Wings, and everybody in that room, according to the coach, should not feel sorry for themselves. Go out and do your job and win some critical hockey games.
Steve, I know you never want to lose in sports at all, but would you rather the rest, if you're Michigan State, would you rather the rest heading into the NCAA tournament, or would you rather play on Sunday in a battle for the Big Ten championship?
Well, I think everybody tuned into this fine broadcast is hoping for Spartans Wolverines Part 3, don't you? And
that would be part of the story, because I'd like to see a Part 4. There's no Part 4 without a Part 3.
Yeah, and you know what? I think that's what everybody's rooting for. But the thing we know about this Big Ten tournament, can't let your guard down. You got to go out and play your game, and that certainly applies to Tom Izzo and the Spartans tonight. Mick Cronin is probably, as we speak, relaying to his team the embarrassment that was that Spartan win again back on February 17th. So I fully expect UCLA to come out focused. And as far as the Spartans go, some things just remain the same. Take care of the basketball.
We'll be listening tonight, 9 o'clock. Steve-O, got to go. Love you, bud. You're the best. We'll be listening next as well. I want to thank Beth Ann Long. I want to thank Danielle Mason. Incredible team here at WJR. Ann Thomas leading the way. Thanks to everybody. I love everybody. 760 WJR.